Madam Toastmaster, members, and guests. Thanksgiving traditionally is known as a season where you get together with your family and your friends. You haven't seen them in a long time, so it's pretty much a gathering spot. But the key component to your Thanksgiving dinner, or to your Thanksgiving, is your Thanksgiving dinner. The smells you get when you walk into the house, the smells of the food cooking in the background, all kinds of cakes and pies, and all different kinds of side dishes and things of that nature. For example, the turkey. You can smell like the sage, the thyme, the rosemary, the garlic, and the onions, and you just can't wait for it to be done. The stuffing is traditionally a carryover, just add some bread with it, and you still have the sage, the rose, the thyme, and you mix it all in, put it in the oven and bake it, along with some broth so it can taste really good. And to top it all off, you may have mashed potatoes. This may not be common in every household, but in some households. Normally they're smooth, extremely creamy, with the milk, the butter, garlic, and the rosemary. Well, that's what I thought my first Thanksgiving was gonna be like with my husband, but it wasn't. That's when I found out that watching my mom cook was different than actually doing the cooking. First, let me tell you about my turkey. I purchased a 10-pound turkey from the store. It was just the two of us, the smallest I could get. So I figured, okay, I would take it out the freezer and put it in the refrigerator the night before. Oh, did I tell you I didn't read the directions? So when I got up the next day to prepare the turkey, I noticed it had a little bit of ice on it. And I said, well, how bad could it really be? So I proceeded to take the butter and massage the turkey. It didn't stick too well. It stuck in some places. So I said, okay, well, I'll work with what I have. The oven should take care of the rest of it. For the spots that did stick, I was able to put the rosemary and the thyme and everything on the turkey. Then I proceeded to go into the cavity. That had a lot of ice in it. And it was completely frozen. So I said, well, you know what? I'm putting it in this pan. I'll take the garlic and the onions and put it around it, and that would take care of it. In the oven it went. And then I mentioned that I didn't read the directions, that I didn't know how long to leave it in there or what temperature to put it on. I guesstimated about 350. So I figured, done with this, let's move on to the stuffing. And I said, well, considering I had some challenges with the actual turkey, I'm gonna go with a box stuffing. I had a box on the shelf. I followed the directions, prepared it as presented, and then I realized, well, let's see, my mom always told me don't use water, use a broth. And I figured, things have changed, I'll go with water. I put water in it, mixed it all together, put it in the oven. Then I decided, well, you know, it doesn't have enough seasoning to it. So I added some more of the thyme, the rosemary, mixed it in there, didn't measure anything. I put it in there until I figured this was the color that I wanted. In the oven it went to. I figured, okay, I'm on a roll right now, so let me go with the macaroni and cheese. My mother made macaroni and cheese from scratch. The elbow macaroni, the grated cheese, the milk, the cream, the eggs, crumbs on top, everything, breadcrumbs on top, everything. I decided, you know what? I'm gonna wing it, I'm going with the box of macaroni and cheese. I followed directions on the box, did what they were supposed to do, but instead of me adding milk, I added water. And I said, well, you know, it's not as orange as I wanted it to be, didn't have the macaroni feel to it. So I figured, okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more of the milk in there with the water. I figured, okay, this may do it, I'll figure it out. So I mixed all that together and put it in the oven. So at this point, I had my turkey in the oven, my stuffing, and the macaroni and cheese, and I didn't measure time for any of it. So I figured, okay, let me sit down. I'm tired at this point. I'm like, I'm just wore out. I called my mom, and she said, I thought you were cooking dinner. I said, yeah, I am cooking dinner. What you doing? She said, no, what are you doing? And I proceeded to tell her I prepared my turkey, my stuffing, dressing, and my macaroni and cheese. She said, well, what time is it there? And I told her. She said, the store's still open. I said, why are you asking me this question? I told you I just finished cooking. She said, get in the car and go now. She said, because your husband will be home for dinner very soon. This is your first Thanksgiving meal. I said, well, what do you want me to go pick up? Because I still didn't get it. She said, get some chicken and maybe some vegetables, so maybe, you guys have something to eat. And then she ran down a list of stuff that was gonna happen to my meal by the time I took everything out the oven. She started off with the turkey. She said, well, you do know a partially thawed turkey won't cook easy. I said, well, what do you mean? I put it in the oven with the rest of the stuff. She said, what do you mean the rest of the stuff? You didn't cook it separately? I'm like, nope. That's when she realized and told me, you spent way too much time in those books and you didn't watch me cook. But here we are, this is where we're getting ready to go. She said it's gonna be dried in some areas and there will be no seasonings because nothing's stuck to it, inside or the outside. You're just gonna have a big chicken with no flavor. I said, okay, well. I said, well, the stuffing should come out okay. She said, didn't you say you added water, not broth? I said, yeah. And didn't you say that you added seasoning so you got the color that you want? I said, yeah. It's gonna come out green and it's gonna have a gummy texture. I said, no, I want it smooth. You're not gonna get that, so let it go. I said, okay. Then we got to the macaroni and cheese. She said, are you serious that you do not make homemade macaroni and cheese? I said, why would I do that? They have the boxes right here. You added milk and not water? I said, yeah, I did. And she said, well, you're gonna have a pan full of macaroni. It's just gonna be soup with no consistency. And true to knowledge, the food was as described. Everything was exactly how my mother described to be. When my husband sat down to eat dinner, his first thoughts was, I thought you said you couldn't cook. My mother told you I was smart. She never said I could cook. I could keep a job. So my lesson that I learned from there, if you want the smells of Thanksgiving, make sure you take the time to research and try the recipes before the big day. Don't wait till that day to try it. And follow directions before cooking them. And one recipe I did find after the fact was macaroni and cheese, which I'm going to share with you guys today. And thank you very much, Ms. President.
Easter Sunday is coming, but I didn't think about chocolate or candies. The whole time I was thinking about cakes, pie, and macaroni and cheese. Thank you, Margaret. I haven't had lunch yet. You made me hungry. You chose the topic so well, and it connected well with the audience during this time of the day. It's about lunchtime. Margaret, your voice, clear and beautiful. It calmed my mind, and it also melted my heart. Thank you. But I think your voice could be better if you use it with vocal variety. Change the volume of your voice now and then. And if you have to be serious with something, say it slowly. And if you're angry, scream, yell. The whole stage is yours to play around and have fun with it. And when you say that, well, I'm done with this. And let's move on. I think you can say that louder. I'm done with this, let's move on. You have a great speech. You have no jargon. You use correct grammar and pronunciations. And near the end of your speech, you wrap it up so well, using humor. By saying, I can cook, but I can keep a job. And I thought that's funny, and I thought that was a great way to end your speech. Margaret, thank you for your speech.